Happy Devils Tuesday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast post-game. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty from SiriusXM Liquid Metal, streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Also, special guest is our trade stock value.
CHA-CHING. CHA-CHING.
Scotty, it could have been a Devils a Happy Devils recap.
Almost.
But unfortunately,
but
it's
you know what we like
Devils
to say.
Recap. What's that?
You know what we like to say. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and that came back into play again. This afternoon for me, this evening out there on the East Coast. So let's do the recap over here. It was a nail biter, baby. You ever see the Dick Vitale commercial now? It's a nail biter, baby. I gotta get this fender bender. Miles Wood opened the scoring. His 11th. Nice play by PK Subban. Both Miles Wood and Pavel Zajac slipped behind the defense. PK with a nice heads-up pass. Miles Wood buries that home for his 11th. PK, that's his 12th assist. Richie comes back for his 10th from CHA-CHING. And Smith, that is CHA-CHING's 18th, and he's going to get on the score sheet again later on. Mikey McLeod, look at our boy Mikey McLeod, Beer Baron to be so proud. Using his speed, nifty little move right there, very slick. Straight to the goal, and I think, caught Halak a little bit off guard. I got it right here, pretty backhand, use the speed. So Devils were looking good at the end of the first, up to 1 in the second. Travis Zajac, and what does that mean? What does that mean, Sam Wu? Travis Zajac. There we go.
Sorry, I had to leave the console. I had to take care of a couple things.
Oh, yeah. You had to go take it. You had to go take care of a couple things, huh? Okay, we know what that means. All right. Travis Zajac, his 5th from Jesper Bratt, his 15th assist, and Ryan Murray, his 6th. We'll talk about it. The lines got shuffled up a little bit today, and Jesper Bratt did look good with Sharangovich and Travis Zajac. But, oh, man, can anyone please friggin' take out Marchand? Oh, my dude, I just hit the guy. How is Jesper Bratt dropping the gloves with Marchand? I don't – come on, Miles Wood. Get in there. And also, we're going to talk about this, too, later on, because he freaking threw Ty Smith's helmet. That should have been – unsportsmanlike conduct, but whatever.
That's what we need.
Whatever. He gets his 13th. Bergeron his 17th. Krejci's back on the score sheet right there for his 2nd of 3 assists. That's his 19th. Then Palms. And what does that mean there, Samu? Kyle Palmieri getting a goal. Oh, that's right. And he did it against the Boston Bruins. Might he already have 5 goals this year against the Boston Bruins? What does that sound like to you, Samu? There we go. It sounds like CHA-CHING. To me. What do we got here? Career versus Boston. They got it up on the TV right now. 23 games, 9 goals, 3 assists, plus 6. Thank you, Palms. Maybe that'll work out. In the third, McAvoy came back. He got his 4th. Smith, his 7th assist. Marchand, his 23rd assist. And then, oh, man. Grell's check. I don't even remember how to pronounce it. Grellsek. From Smith and Krejci again, his 20th assist. They tie it up, in the shootout. Coyle and Pasta buried both of their opportunities to win the game. Devils had a power play in overtime. Jack Hughes had an unbelievable shake and bake type of move, but could not bury it. 3 stars of the game, friggin' Marchand. Krejci got the 2nd, and then Coyle. Shots on goal, Devils 11, 12, 9, 3 in OT for a total of 35. Bruins 12, 13, 19, 4 in OT for a total of 48. Holy Hanneman, where they poured it on in the third period. Face-off percentage, pretty even, 49 to 50, little percentage point difference right there. Power plays, we gave up a power play goal today. Boston was 1 for 2. We were 0 for 3. Hits pretty even, nice to see, even though I felt like Boston was kind of pushing us around there, 22 to 24. Blocks, 12 to 8. Giveaways, we only had 8. Not so bad. So this was kind of a little bit of a downer. We saw the Devils kind of fall apart as the game went along, feeling really good in the first and second, and then you could just kind of feel it happening in the third, much like with the Islanders. They stayed close, and then when the third period came along, they kind of turned it up an extra gear and took over the game. But Sam Wu, man, was I pissed there in the middle with everything that happened with Marchand. I don't know how you feel about it, but just seeing him like rough up Ty a little bit, throw his helmet, taking a run at Kulikov. I mean, Jesper Bratt is the guy who's in there? Like, come on, guys. Like, someone has got to stand up for some of these dudes. You know, like, I don't know.
Well, I pointed out something last game about the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. I think Boston Bruins, after being down most of the game, took a page out of the Capitals' book and just bullied them around with obnoxiousness. Jack Hughes, the way he got hit, not once,
he was getting ping-ponged.
Not twice.
Ping-ponged. He was like, doink, doink, doink.
I mean,
like a pinball machine.
It was bullying at that point. And there were times where there was a little bullying. I saw some of the other Devils, try to help out and, stick check them. But even Jack Hughes had to defend himself a couple times where he would take a cheap shot, with an elbow or something like that when the guy was coming, which is great, which is fine. Because
it's good. Defend yourself. Yeah. But we should have someone else out there as well. And man, was when he threw Ty Smith's helmet, I was so pissed.
Yep.
Where someone has got to go in there at that moment. I mean, they should have went in there before. Ty's a rookie. I get it. Like Jesper Bratt. Really? Jesper? I mean, good on Jesper, too, for going in there and doing that and taking a shot and knowing that he's, obviously Jesper Bratt is not the guy we want to see dropping the gloves. We want to see him at all times keeping his gloves on where he could be setting some dudes up to make and score some sick goals. We never want to see him in the penalty box for taking 5. And honestly, how did Marchand not get 5 minutes for fighting there? How did he not get an unsportsmanlike conduct for throwing the helmet? And then how did he not get 5 minutes because he dropped the gloves and he definitely threw punches?
Just when I started to say that the refs are starting to get it right after the last game.
Well, they got it right in the first. They did get it right in the first period. I want to point that out. That was goalie interference. Maybe that's why Marchand was so mad at Ty Smith, because Ty Smith was in 100% perfect position to block out. Was it Marchand or was it Coyle that was trying to come in there? I can't remember who crashed the net on that disallowed goal. It might have been Coyle. But he had nowhere to go because Ty Smith was in the most perfect position he could be. And he did not give up his ground right there. And the only way he could was to bellow into Mackenzie Blackwood and interfere with him attempting to make that save. So that was 100% the right call. I don't know. I think there should have been the throwing of the helmet is what I think that just like steps a little bit over the line when you like chuck some dude's helmet. Dropping the gloves and throwing punches, I think you should have got 5 for that. That's just me. But I don't know. Let us know your opinion because we want to know your opinion. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Omar, Benny, Craig, Mike, Ray, Cheryl. What's going on there, everybody? Jennifer. Got a whole bunch of people hanging out after this game. This is a tough loss. But it did, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here. I don't know about you. Am I overreacting with these penalties here? Like, I was a little
Well,
pissed at that.
I was looking at the game at a different vantage point.
Okay.
Stock is high, really
Stock is
high.
high. Okay.
All right. Here's
Travis
the
Zajac
soundbite.
scores. We
Yep.
like that.
Paul Murray scores, right?
Scores. We like
And then, but I gotta admit to you, I wasn't focused on the
Mhm.
game. Towards the end there, when they were cycling, when they were wearing out, towards the end of regulation, wearing out, and I saw Paul Murray hurt.
Oh, falling on the skate. You got a little worried. You got a little emotional.
I was like, the draft picks we could get for him, all gone in that instant. But thankfully, he came back.
All taken away. All taken away in just a fateful moment.
Kid. Look, you
he's
know
a
what?
hockey player.
He's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. And you know what?
He's not going to the locker room. He's just going to the bench to get sewed up, and he's going back in there. He's a hockey player there. Samu and CHA-CHING. Score those goals, Kyle Palmieri.
Where's the beat?
But yeah, I mean, but we have to address this.
Go ahead.
Championship, the teams that we've seen, Boston Bruins, Washington Capitals, all have won cups in the last decade. Did you see, like, honestly, how they just, okay, we can't beat you. We're gonna literally beat you and do all those shenanigans. Hitting, we got out hit. The face-offs, we got out face-offed, if that's even a term. Like, we got everything.
It was pretty even on the face-offs.
Basically,
we got out-muscled, and we definitely got outplayed in the third period 100%. But this really got me thinking, Samu, because we've been talking about it a lot. And by the way, actually, before we jump, I just want to say Mackenzie Blackwood, I think at first he kind of flip-flopped. I feel like at first he let in some kind of questionable goals. Obviously, the first one, even the one from Marchand too. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think he would have wanted to had that one back as well. However, in the third period and overtime, he completely flipped. As the team started to falter, he rose to the occasion. Something Shorts Guy talked about. The more shots he faces, the more into the game and the more he seems to get. So we did see that at the end of the game. Mackenzie Blackwood, I mean, that's one thing I had here in my notes. I was like, bad goals, but eventually comes alive. Like he did. He played, I mean, Boston should have beat us there in the third and in OT.
Yeah.
Like they were coming with an unbelievable pace in that third period. And Mackenzie Blackwood was literally standing on his head there. How many shots again did they get in the third period? I just want to look again here real quick. They got 19 shots in the third period.
That's a lot.
19 Boston had. And then 4 in OT. They had 48 total. Whew. 19 in the third, Samu. That's a number. that's a number you don't want to see in shot totals for one period. Maybe for a game, that's great. One period. I don't know, but you were talking about getting tougher and building this team up. Sam Wu, do you realize this? Can you tell me what all of these players who are on the Devils right now? Can you tell me what they all have in common? Nick Berkeley, Mikey McLeod, Yanni Kuokkanen, Igor Sharangovich, Nathan Bastian. Yeah, can you tell me what all those players all have in common?
They're young.
They're all on expiring restricted free agent contracts. There's going to be some decisions to be made here. We know about our UFAs. Kyle Palmieri, Travis Zajac, Ryan Murray, Dmitry Kulikov, Sami Vatanen. There is a pretty long list of guys who are expiring RFAs. Merkley, McLeod, Kuokkanen, Sharangovich, Bastian. And that does include, everyone down there at AHL like Studenick, Quinville, Colton White, Sen, Sini. There's a lot of guys down there now. What's going to happen here? Are any of these guys going to get maybe included in some trade packages? Some guys that have been in the NHL showcase. Those first couple names I read off there: Merkley, McLeod, Kuokkanen, Sharangovich, Bastian.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? It's pretty interesting, though, if you look at the old cap-friendly site, kind of paints a different picture. And you start looking at our team. And you notice, there's no Holtz there. There's no Mercer. There's no Foot yet. Tice Thompson. Yeah. We're starting to see Jesper Boquist, Graham Clark, Nathan Schnarr, like George R. Martin. Talavidi. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that one. I'm sure.
Just call him Arnie.
I'm sure I'm wrong. But Ahoychuk, Kevin Ball, Riley Walsh. Here's another one. Vukojevic? I don't even know. We have some guys that are coming that do offer a little bit more grit, speed, and determination. Where are they all going to fit? I don't know. I was kind of playing around here trying to come up with some lines and stuff. And you start writing down all these names and you're like, oh, wow. Who can I put here? How about a Nico? Who do I have up there? Nico, Holtz, and Mercer. Or I think I had originally Nico, Holtz, and Foot. But I like the idea of Hughes and Foot and maybe Zajac playing together. Maybe a McLeod, Sharangovich, Kuokkanen. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can go. But we got to get bigger with these guys. We got to get a little bigger, which some of these guys are.
I was thinking about how we have a glut of centermen now and the future. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time, potentially, and I don't know if they're capable to play the wings. How about Zacha's at center, McLeod at right wing, and Miles Wood on left wing? That's a beast of size of a line. Zacha, he's improved quite a bit. He's using his body more, but not quite as much as I would like him to. But maybe he's just not that type of player. But
wait, what'd you say? Zacha, Wood, and who?
Zacha, Wood, and McLeod. Move Mikey McLeod to right wing. The way he skated tonight on the wing.
Nah, I don't trust those.
I'm not talking
those three
about
guys
first
together.
line.
I don't know.
I
don't even want that as a. I like the way I like the idea of Kuokkanen, McLeod, and Sharangovich. We're just bickering about things now, one way or another. But eventually, I don't know.
The point I'm trying to make is that size right there, Bastian. Where does he fit in the future? In all this, But the problem is they've got talented players, but who's actually going to make an impact? Who? You talk about great players of yesteryear, right? Mm-hmm. Scott Stevens, even Ken Danico was an impact player in the locker room because that's where he thrived, the most. Plus, he was basically, the heart and soul of the team. And right now, we got this identity. What is their identity?
It's not here. It's not exactly. It's not here yet. And I didn't even have Mohamedulin on my list over here. So we're still a couple years out. We want to, and who knows what we can get for Palms and Zajac right here. We might be able to. I see Benny on here. I can see teams wanting someone like McLeod thrown in a deal. I could see that too, or a Merkley. I think they would be. I don't think they're going to want to give up Kuokkanen or Sharangovich. They seem to really love Sharangovich. So I would say he's probably at the best spot right now. Kuokkanen right after that. And then I think McLeod and Merkley, they might get dealt. But, McLeod also, that's someone down the center with really good speed and size. So I don't know. Just real quick, Charlie Buckley, OT was brutal. Barry Marchand was up to his usual rat self. Oh my God, dude, I was ready to throw my phone through the TV. I was so So I was livid when he threw that helmet. I cannot tell you. Matt Freudenberger, Blackwood was unbelievable in the third and overtime. Hey, Big Daddy Matt Casper, what's up, buddy? Adam Morgan Boquist looks a little lost in the call-up. I think he looks better this time than he did originally, at least. It looks like Maltstev has found his way to the taxi squad. We'll see. We'll see where it goes with Boquist. I mean, he's been a hyped prospect for a long time, and we know we've seen him play a good defensive game, but can he, chip in goals? Or does he, instead of, I've talked about Merkley looking, Blake Coleman-esque, is Jesper Boquist the guy who actually develops into our next, Blake Merkley? Blake Merkley. Jesus Christmas. What's going on, Scott? Oh, yeah, old Blake Merkley. Blake Coleman and Nick Merkley.
Scotty, I got something for you. Just
what you got for me?
Just
hey,
thinking
Patty.
out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Before I go with my thought, Owen says the power play sucks. Rody Ryan says the OT faceoffs were brutal. YouTube Live.
Brutal.
Here are my thoughts. Since the new ownership is no longer
Oh,
new,
boy.
Since the ownership.
Oh,
No.
boy.
This is constructive.
Oh, Lordy.
There's been all this talk about analytics. And I think they did do their homework because some of the players that we've seen are very talented. I like analytics at times. But here's the big but. There's one analytic that I bet you nothing ever shows up in any of these spreadsheets, any of these meetings. Aside from that, it starts with a P. Do you know what the P word stands for?
Pride.
Close. Pest.
Pest? Oh, okay. All right.
Because criticize all you want about Marchand. He is a pest. It's a game
Can I say paid in the ass instead? Can I say that?
Well, yeah. PETA. Okay. A PETA. Maybe that should be an analytic. PETA. Think of years past. Claude Lemieux. The Rangers had Esa Tikkanen. Pests. Absolutely annoying. The Rangers had Sean Avery. Okay? How did we get? We had David Clarkson.
Don't speak those two names together again, please.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's an attitude. It's an attitude. It goes beyond analytics. And that's what this team is missing. Character. Not saying that these are bad guys. I think they're talented. I think they're great. When you listen to the press conference, they're very professional. They don't say much, but they're very professional. But we need somebody crazy. The energy guy. Aside from Miles Wood, but I don't want Miles Wood to be overextended doing everything. He's fine what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he seems to be focusing in more of like a goal scoring aspect. I feel like I don't know. Someone needed to step up and hit Marchand at some point, and nobody did. It should not have been Jesper Bratt out there, especially. I mean, I know that he took the run at Kulikov, so Kulikov was the one that got knocked down, but Travis, I don't like to see you dropping the gloves all the time, but you're out there with Jesper Bratt. I don't know.
And I've mentioned it this year. I've mentioned this. We're in season 4 right now. I've mentioned about this. I mentioned this even on the Woo Report. You know what? There are bad penalties, but sometimes they're needed to trip up a guy really badly. I'm not saying paralyze him. What I'm saying is send a message. There's no messenger here. And you know what? As talented as the Devils are, because you do see a lot of potential, we'll just put on the brawn and muscle and just throw you guys around. I mean, the way Jack Hughes got thrown around today, it's almost a disgrace. It was almost a disgrace that nobody just dropped the gloves and just took out somebody, And I'm not talking about her. It's there's a when we
No,
talk about
just
hockey fights, we're not talking about killing the other person where they're just permanently damaged. We're talking about sending a message. Remember the unwritten code. There was
yeah.
there was an unwritten code. That's why you had the Marty McSorleys of the world, and you had Donald Brashear. But sometimes it was taken too far back in the day. But you could still have some level of that. But I think what I'm really concerned about is where is the emotion from the New Jersey Devils players when you see your star player Jack Hughes getting knocked around like that, or Ty Smith, those
And
shenanigans.
not only that, the game is just slipping away from you as well. Yeah. Like we said, a hockey fight can be something different. We don't want to see, Tony Twist. I mean, yeah, it's fun to go back and watch Tony Twist videos of him, clobbering people, but we're not talking about that right now. Sometimes though, you need to stand up for yourself. And if someone like Marchand is running around, listen, that hit against Kulikov didn't look the best either, and if he's taking shots at your stud rookie defenseman, someone's got to go in there and just challenge him and say, all right, dude, you want to do that? Well, now you got to step up and answer to me. There's no one there doing that tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesper Bratt. Just the guy I would pick out of the lineup, to be with me in a fight. Come on. And this is nothing against Jesper either. But we said that's not his role on the team. I am not expecting Jesper Bratt to be the one to stand up for Ty Smith. And good on Jesper for doing it. He did. I hope.
You know what? He's not on the block. If they give out
a puck tonight, well, now you know what? You know what? He earned a spot in my heart tonight. That's for damn sure. He was one that I've always been like, well, whatever. Maybe we could package him with something. Now he's the only one who stepped up and showed a little balls tonight. I was really disappointed, man. I was really disappointed. Like I said, I'm not expecting Travis to go in and drop the gloves and all that stuff, but I don't know. I felt like that was more of his type of role, being that he was on there. Even Sharon Govich is a bigger boy. I get it, he's 22. But I mean, Jesper Bratt, he's just not a big, tough dude. That's not who he is. Yeah. Kulikov was there, which means PK was there. I mean, I don't really want to see PK fighting either, but I'd rather see PK wrestling than poor Jesper.
Bottom line, this team has talent, but it's not balanced. It's very heavy, top heavy and down the middle in terms of, centermen. Defensively, again, do they really have a bona fide stopper back there? A game changer, an impact player?
It depends. It depends on how many shots he gets. Like we said, those goals were not good. The first, the second, I don't want to remember the third one. But in the third, they turned it on. And once it got turned on, Mackenzie Blackwood did stand up. I can't really fault him on the shootout stuff. Hey, what can you do on that? So, but they did get a point.
Good on Mackenzie, because you knew that the Bruins were going to come out pissed off. The first minute of the game, it looked like they were throwing everything at, within first 10 seconds they already had a shot of Mackenzie Blackwood. And then suddenly the Devils score 2 or 3 minutes in. So, kind of neutralized everything of that emotion, which is a good sign. But again, it's like we need that. Remember when Larry Robinson had that tirade, or Robbie Fatorik when he threw the bench out on the ice, or Pat Burns. Anytime Pat Burns wanted to get his message across, it was loud. It was in your face. And I'm not saying Lindy Ruff's coaching style is not like that, but what I'm saying is there's just no emotion. So
I don't know. I don't know if I'm putting that on Lindy. I think, like you said, the team is not balanced. It's not balanced correctly. Maybe it would have been different if Bastion was in there tonight and he could have went out there and hit some people. Maybe that would have been a different story. I can't.
How was the penalty kill tonight? I missed that stat.
Penalty kill was 1 for 2. 1 for 2.
1 for 2.
So we gave up a goal tonight. So we can't be perfect. The penalty kill has been a relatively bright spot though in the past couple weeks. Really, I think they had a stat on during the game. I think it's basically been since the month of March. It's really been executing well. So again, was it? Who did they leave? Was that the Marchand goal? Was that on power play? I can't remember. Someone. The Boston's a tough team to play. They're a tough team to play. They're eventually going to get us. We've played Boston very, very well all season long. Eventually it was going to catch up to us. But everyone needs to start thinking about some of this stuff. What do we got? 22 games left. Our captain should be back in about a week or so. Saw him on the old Peloton there, or whatever he was training on the exercise bike. So looks like, we're going to get him back maybe around 18, 17 games to go. Get Nico into the lineup. Get some of these trades happening. See some of these young kids come up. Walsh, a Hoytyuk, Ball. Maybe Ball and a Hoytyuk. I think those will be the two defensemen that come up. But there are a lot of other guys. Tice Thompson, Graham Clark, Arnie. Nolan Foote. We've all been excited to see Nolan Foote. I'm not sure where we have to look up exactly what happens with Dawson Mercer. Dawson's he's in juniors right now, so I think Holtz is available at the very end of the year once the Swedish league. I'm not sure. We have to look that up. But man, be excited to get a sneak peek at some of these guys real soon.
Yeah, and again, they should have an analytics, a little spot that says PETA. Have a PETA score. Because I think that's also important. And it goes with balance and all that. And, this is a different Devils team under this regime that we're normally used to. Most of us know is how Lou handled things. But, if you look of all the championship teams, like the Chicago Blackhawks have had, the Detroit Red Wings, Pittsburgh Penguins, they always had a guy or two to muck it up, and they always came to each other's defense. And this is a young team, but I like to see more of that. And I was just cringing every time Jack Hughes was just getting hit. Like he would not get back up from a hit.
Ping-ponged.
And
he was literally just bouncing in between them. They were just
at least Jack Hughes is not the whiner like Sidney Crosby was when he was a rookie. Anytime he got hit, he'd be crying on. No, Jack Hughes actually got up. He got up. I saw him, try to cross-check this guy. And what about I think it was Miles Wood that got hit from behind badly. I think it was in the first period or whatever, and it's like, are you guys going to do something about it? Hit back. It's okay. It's okay to take a penalty in those situations. Why? Because otherwise they're just going to bully you for the rest of the game, and then you're going to lose. You got to stand your ground, and I think that's should be a topic on the Woo Report tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow, I'm plugging, which would be the last. This is actually the last post game on Periscope.
Later, Periscope.
Tomorrow will
nice
be the last of the Woo Report and the State of the Fan Address. Apparently, we've got a big guest tomorrow, Nick Villano and I, but he won't tell me because he doesn't want to jinx it. Do you ever get like that superstitious in broadcasting, Scotty, where you've got a big guest, but you don't want to say who it is, even to your co-host, because it's jinx it? It's like now it has me
No.
guessing.
No, because I want the people to be prepared if I have a big guest. So I want everyone to be prepared and ready to go and make sure everything is awesome. So I would definitely tell who the production. Yeah, I would definitely. Yes, I would definitely tell the people. Yeah,
I hope
to make
it's
sure
Gary
everything is good.
Thorne's, somebody big like Gary Thorne.
Well, we'll see.
As they're trying to figure out who's going to be the ESPN's National Hockey Night play-by-play and color commentary. We'll discuss that sometime later. But Scotty, you have any final thoughts?
No, I think this is a tough game, tough loss. At least we got a point out of it. Okay, cool. But they should have had the W. They went to sleep in the third. I hope Lindy kind of, gives them a good talking to about that. And they come out and play harder. And as we talked about, guys got to start standing up for themselves a little bit more, too. Jesper Bratt should not be the guy in the penalty box on the roughing and fighting penalties.
Yep. And I see Ramona writing NFZ. I pointed out the NFZ, posted it on our Let's Go Devils podcast. Bryce Salvador was talking about the penalty kill. And then that last blip, I circled NFZ because that's what he was talking about. I felt good about that. All righty. Well, tomorrow's Woo Report is going to be PITA. I'll talk about how to antagonize other players without getting a penalty. Something that is an art form, believe it or not, Scotty. When I used to play, when, where you knew where the referees were, but you just knew how to just nudge them enough where you could draw a penalty for just being a jerk on the ice. Because I think that's what the Devils need to be doing. And tomorrow night, State of Fan Address, we have a mystery guest. I don't know who it is, but apparently someone big. Alrighty. That's all, folks. Enjoy your night. Till next time, let's go Devils.